Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
Harper was asked whether he envisioned his son following his footsteps and playing in the NBA. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
This a vision you had?
I'm not LeBron James. I'm not going to tell my kids what they have to do. I just want my kids to.
Man, Ron Harper had that one in the clip for a long time. He knows both of his boys can ball, so he's going to say what he wants to. On the day of this press conference, Ron Harper pulled up and chose violence.
Yo, what's up now, partner?
I see absolutely nothing wrong with what Ron Harper said. Why? Because he didn't force his boys there. They got there through hard work and playing and busting ass in college and high school. Ron Harper couldn't pull no strings to get his boys in the NBA. Both of them little dudes can ball. Season high. They're both McDonald's All-Americans in high school. Dylan averaged 20 and Ron Harper Jr. averaged 21. You know how many points Bronny James averaged in high school, but he was an All-American? 14. Even Kendrick Perkins was surprised. He was like, well, you can't make the All-American McDonald's team averaging no 14 points. He had to come back and retract his statements when he said that. But we all know, people who pay attention to this stuff, he did not tell one lie. But it goes on with Shannon and his feelings, with Ocho and Joe Johnson.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Ron, do you realize it's easier for your kids to make it in the NBA than LeBron's? You lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've never seen, think about it. Ken Griffey's dad was a good player. He wasn't Junior. Bobby Bonds was a good player.
He wasn't Barry.
No. So Kareem got sons. Michael got sons. Name a historically great player that the kid was also historically great.
He said, do you know, Ron Harper, he was talking to Ron Harper. He said, do you know it's easier for your kids to make it to the NBA than LeBron's? You know why it's easier? Because they're actually good. I didn't use college stats because Bronny didn't really do nothing in college. I used the high school stats. Highest scoring games from Dylan and Ron. Dylan had a high scoring game of 38. Ron Jr. had a high score game of 33. Bronny had a high scoring game of 25. Right? That should tell you they have a love and a passion for the game. Bronny James wants to be a streamer. He wants to play video games. This boy, it was a video out where this boy was naming all of the guns that he had in his arsenal. Everything. He knew everything by name. That's where his passion is. And then he gonna try to deflect and say, well, nobody, they're expecting Bronny to be good as LeBron James. No, we're not. Nobody ever said that. We're expecting Bronny James to have made it to the NBA because he was good. Make the All-American McDonald's team because he was good. We knew he wasn't good in high school. We knew he wasn't good in college. But the Harper boys, we knew they were good. We knew they could ball. We don't want Bronny to be good as LeBron. That's impossible. Bronny's what, 6'1", 6'2"? His daddy is 6'9". We knew the boy wasn't going to be too much. But if you are pushed to the Lakers, to the NBA is a second-round pick, only averaging 4 points, we expect something decent.
Today, Junior?
LeBron absolutely forced this boy into the NBA. He really ruined his professional career if he really, truly wanted to have one. Why? Because he came in the wrong way. He didn't earn it. It was given to him. That's how he actually already ruined his career. He hasn't had, one breakout game where he scored 20 plus. I think in garbage time he scored against the Milwaukee Bucks. He had a season high of 17. He's now coming off the bench playing in garbage time minutes. He's supposed to be a good point guard by now, at least a little bit better than he was the previous year. But then we go into another year and he's still playing exactly the same. His shot might have got a little bit better, hit or miss, but he forced him there for that moment. That's why they had that fugazi ass setup to where Bronny came off the bench. Bron was already playing. They walked him in for them to play, and then they flew in the Griffies to have that little special moment. True clown shit. And I don't know why Shannon Sharpe fights so hard for LeBron. I just can't understand it. Like, didn't this dude, you showed him love at the Memphis Grizzlies game. He got into it with T. Morant, Ja's father. You were about to get jumped by the Memphis Grizzlies. This man walked to the locker room and left your ass hanging. He didn't even have your back. He didn't even go over there to try to intervene. But then you still cat for him? Oh, this guy's the GOAT, greatest player to ever play the game, better than Michael Jordan. Shannon, stop. Cut it out. Did he offer you some encouraging words when we found out that you was pounding on one of America's little sweethearts? Did he send you a private text about that? No, because he's selfish. He thinks about himself. He's not worried about nobody else. He's not worried about you, Shannon Sharpe. He ain't gonna come over there and soothe your wounds just because you capping for him. You were confronted about being on Clutch's payroll. You deny it like everybody else. Y'all deny it the same way. No, I'm not on Clutch Sports payroll. I don't, I'm just a fan of this player. I just think he's a great player. All of y'all say the same thing. It's like y'all programmed to say these certain words, and it's like in your head when these questions come up, y'all are supposed to say this. This is the politically correct answer that you are supposed to give people when y'all ask people these questions. But he had the nerve to call out David Griffin when he said what he said about LeBron James in the Eastern Conference. This is what Shannon Sharpe had to say. He was furious.
You mean to tell me if I took LeBron James with the Eastern Conference, I have this constructed right now. So if I put LeBron James and I remove Donovan Mitchell from that Cavs team last year, you mean to tell me they losing to the Pacers?
Yes, absolutely. They would have lost to the Pacers because the only problem that was wrong with the Cavs last year in the playoffs is that Jared Allen was out some games. Evan Mobley was out some games. Darius Garland was out some games. Donovan Mitchell was out there balling practically by himself. He was carrying the offensive load. You take Donovan Mitchell off of that team and you replace him with LeBron James, they probably wouldn't even have made the damn playoffs. The Pacers play good team basketball. Last year, they was beating everybody's ass. They even went, 6-7 games with the Thunder? And the Thunder had the best record in the Western Conference. It was 68-14. Yeah. So putting him back on that Cavs team with Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Max Strus, yes, absolutely. Because he would have turned Evan Mobley into a damn three-point shooter. The paint would have been cleared out. Darius Garland would have looked a whole lot worse. Jared Allen would have looked a whole lot worse. That whole team would have been sucked dry by the person that is LeBron James and the stuff he would have been doing over there. Look what he's doing with the Lakers right now. He's worried about his stats. He's not worried about winning anymore. He said last year, oh, I don't have anything else to prove. That team would look a whole lot worse. Thank God they had Donovan Mitchell over there controlling the reins to where they had the best record in the league in the Eastern Conference. But then he tries to hang Dave Griffin upside down for practically telling the truth on why the Cavs made it to the finals so many times.
One of the things that we really benefited from was we were in a historically bad Eastern Conference. And all through those years, we really knew the target is the Western Conference team. There was nobody in the East who was really going to be in the way.
Yeah, right.
Now.
Yeah.
And so the thing that I think people need to appreciate a little bit more is Kobe is doing what he's doing, and this Cavs team with Donovan is trying to do what they're doing in a Eastern Conference that's significantly more competitive than what we had.
But there was absolutely nothing wrong with what Dave Griffin said because it got the name the Eastern Conference for a reason. The players don't want to play in the East. They want to play out west to where they got that warm weather. But still, nonetheless, on the East, they still had good superstar players out there. You had your Dwight Howards. You had your Paul Pierces. You had your KGs. You had your Derrick Roses. You had your Dwayne Wade. You had multiple good players out there. But the only difference is They didn't have superstar player on top of superstar player. They had a superstar, you had your second option, and then you had all the other players, the role players around to make the engine go. That's it. That's what you had out there in the Eastern Conference. But you had 1, 2, 3 good-ass players, star players on one team out there in the West because that people want that warm weather. But they did benefit significantly. He faced the Pacers multiple times in the playoffs. The Hawks with Jeff Teague, the Pacers with Paul George, the Pacers when the best player on the team was Victor Oladipo, the baby Celtics with Baby Tatum and Baby Brown and Terry Rozier. They had the Pistons. They played the Pistons. The Pistons' best players were what? Marcus Morris, Tobias Harris, KCP, and then somehow you knew that the Eastern Conference was so trash. The Toronto Raptors were a good team. The players, the leading scoring players were Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. They had a couple of good games where Serge Ibaka had some good games to help carry that team. They had some good players on that team, don't get me wrong. But they kept running into LeBron's super team with Kyrie and Kevin Love getting their ass kicked. Before, this is pre-game, this is pre-LeBron James before he went to the Heat. He kept running into the Washington Wizards. He beat the Nets multiple times. The first time he made it to the playoffs, the finals, is in 2007. He did beat the Pistons, who was, 3 years removed from their championship in 2004, where they had Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups. They had a cool little team over there, whatever they had put together. But as the time went on, they were getting older, so they kept getting their ass kicked. The Celtics was kicking his ass, but also he kicked their ass too. But he ran into Dwight Howard. He got his ass kicked. When it was really, that was the year that they were looking forward to LeBron and Kobe meeting up in the finals. But LeBron couldn't stand on 10 and put down that Dwight Howard team, Magic team. But it was a decent little team. They had Hedo Turkoglu, Jameer Nelson. They had Rashard Lewis. They had Dwight Howard. They had a good little team over there, and they all played hard. They played defense. He anchored that team, Dwight Howard. But Dwight Howard made it to the finals and got his ass kicked by Kobe Bryant. So the Eastern Conference was weak for a while. It was weak for a long time. He spent 15 years in the Eastern Conference, and he only got 3 championships. He didn't even dominate over in a weak conference. But this is the GOAT. This is the greatest player of all time. This is the greatest player that ever played the game of basketball. But they had Michael Jordan over there in the Eastern Conference for 13 years? Won 6 championships, actually dominated in an Eastern Conference that was sprinkled with a lot of good players in the Eastern Conference. But he's not the GOAT. He comes second to LeBron. But lastly, Shannon Sharpe, Joe Johnson, and Ocho just need to shut the hell up. Get off of y'all knees, bruh. Acting like some true knee pad ninjas. You BRONGOBLINS. He benefited from being in that weak Eastern Conference. Simple and plain. Dave Griffin, there was 2 seasons where they had 60-plus win records. 2 years in a row, 66-16 and 61-21. Just the Cavs team with LeBron. It's 2 years in a row. But you know why they couldn't win? Because the way LeBron plays ball, it doesn't fuel winning. He was heliocentric thin. It got worse in Toronto. He went back to Cleveland. It got it got out of control. And this is what he had, a 4-6 record in the damn finals. But all of these losses, it's not on the Cavs. It's not on the Heat. It's not on the Lakers. It's on LeBron James for being that heliocentric ball hog, stat pattern basketball player that he is today. And that is the reason why he will never win another championship. Nightcap, stop capping. But I digress. If you made it to the end of this video, hopefully you subscribe, comment, like, share the damn video, and hit the notification bell for whenever I upload it to be nice. See if there's anybody else out there that thinks like us as in me and you. Don't forget to hit that hype too. And with that being said, good day.